Kind of good. Some of the situation you're in YouTube. Right now, I'm blocking you. This is bad. I can't wait to get this book published. It's called Book of Heart. Lowercase H-E, capital A-R-T. It's dealing with my art. And if you check out my Instagram page, The Creationist, and Facebook page, you'll see what my shit is about. I scribble, and in my scribbles, I see so much shit. And this is the cover of my book, just to show y'all real quick. I was sitting there thinking, like, what should I do for the cover? And I just heard this answer in my head, was scribble. So I just started scribbling. And this is what you see. Why is it blue like that? Well, this is what you see. That is a person looking sad, pointing to his chest, his heart. And I left that in an abstract form so that you can see that I just scribble for real. Like, I'm not drawing this shit. And I see what I see. About to read this book to her so that she can see me for who I am. I pour my heart and soul into this shit. I need something with some taste. Water is cool, but I need some taste. Sugar in with that tea is so much better. The stool up was tripping. It's been a while since I read this stuff too. Like, going over this shit is gonna open up some things that. Alright. I discovered I had this hidden talent when two things happened in December 2020. I really started making some heart changes and started to put my energy on paper. I also had the eyes to see things that started happening completely consciously by accident. But I guess my subconscious was at work. As I've told others, these things draw themselves, and I just outline what I see. I call my art fourth dimensional neo-abstract. And this is a picture of what one dimension is. That's one dimensional. This is two dimensional. And this is three dimensional. Fourth is within and all around at every angle and beyond. A dimension of any and all possibilities. Depending on what I feel and think, my hand does what it does. And as I turn the paper every type of way, images jump out at me. The ones that are too persistent and obvious and I can't get out of my mind are the ones I outline. Sometimes I allow my subconscious to choose a color. I close my eyes and whatever color feels right, I open my eyes and apply. In my art, as well as life, I've learned everything is an expression. Example, happy is a smile, sad is a frown. These expressions are in their purest form in a child. When you see a happy baby, you're looking at that expression in its purest form. Everything is an expression of something deeper. Sometimes the message in my art is immediate, other times not. There's still some pieces I haven't deciphered, but I've run across others who different images means different things to them. Hopefully some of these images you see will speak to you in some way. You will see how my art has progressed in a matter of months. Welcome to my Book of Heart. This is dedicated to my mother, the creator, and everyone and everything that inspires me. Chapter 1, Clearing Out My Heart. This book called The Anatomy of a Miracle found me. And as I started reading it, a lot of the info in it started resonating with me. I always had potential to be, like, underlying, just to be whatever. I just decided that after doing things one way for so long, it's time for me to be a better me. It was a slow sliding of tectonic proportions that led to this earthquake of change. And as I've told others, I feel like I'm possessed by a higher frequency that won't allow me to be anything but the best possible human being I can be. Secret number one. For a long time, I've been able to see things and other things. Faces, animals, flowers, you name it. On the next page, you will see a character I poured my heart and soul into. I call him ThinkBot, and he is a smudge on the wall next to my toilet. So y'all, my dude that you will soon know about through Disney, this is a future Disney character. This is ThinkBot. This is a smudge, and this is what I wrote on this actual paper. This is a smudge on my wall, but I swear I just drew what I saw. I call him ThinkBot. When he thinks and he realizes, the light bulb glows. And like, this is me illustrating like different colors and different emotions that he's feeling. Like, as I started pouring energy into him, like, things just started coming to me. This was a smudge right here next to the toilet on my wall. It looked just like this. That's me taking you through like different emotions. Yellow, wake. Red light, kill. Rainbow light, like hypnotized. But look at what I asked. What question, what question did I say right here for this? Can you read my writing? I said, what's his body? What is he made of? So this is a question I asked myself. Like, what is inside of him, you know, something like that? Like, what makes him, you know, something alive and living and shit? And this is what I drew out. Pure light. Like, you know, something that's what's inside of him. He doesn't have wires and bars and shit, you know, something like other robots. He has light inside of him. Oh yeah, I did this song right here to Billie Eilish's Ocean Eyes. Are you here to it? Hell yeah, like, it's like the sun setting in our eye and shit. So I want to cry at how beautiful my perspective on life is getting. I'm on a real positive frequency. Only those I love will see those tears of joy. And then I drew a little smiley face with like a pool of tears underneath me. And then I asked, what is in the reflection of that puddle? Nobody saw my tears of joy. I was in the prison cell, and I had peace and joy. Shit. I don't know where the fuck that came from. I can't keep on reading this shit. Let me tell you, I'm a G. Alright, let me get back to it. Let me sparkle my fucking mind, man. Fucking bullshit. Fuck that. I don't know what the fuck that was. It wasn't no sad cry, it wasn't no mad, and it wasn't happy. I don't even know the name now. say that. Let me take this shit. Oh, hell yeah. I looked at that shit like you just saved me. Fuck up, bitch. I wrote an illustrated book about him and his soulmate, Soulbot. That character literally got my blood, sweat, and tears. The blood came from a paper cut, and I grabbed the blade part of a prison pencil sharpener. Like, I was reaching down on my little, like, sharpener, and it was a brand new sharpener, a piece of the blade nicked me. And so I was also experimenting with different emotions it could feel. The next page I call Innocence Over. I had a lot of hate projected at my stepdad, and cleaning out my heart, I had to forgive him too. He put me and my sister through a lot of shit. Man, what the fuck? I didn't think this shit was gonna. I thought it was gonna go into some regular shit. And why is my heart feeling like this? Alright, so I illustrated a situation that me and my sister went through. I drew a cardboard box, a stick, and a carrot. And this is a rope. And I had an idea. I said leader, because I don't call, nobody in the family calls it a leader. We all call it leader. So I said, leader, let's catch a rabbit. That was me and my sister, you know, something like that. And with the little shit made, like in a cartoon, to catch a rabbit. And we got a pet rabbit like that. The innocence of kids. Stepdad said we wasn't taking care of it. That's a rabbit in a pan, being fried. And that's a look of me being shocked. And I understood that. That's what I felt like on the inside. And it's the first time I felt fear from an adult. That's what I realized. The very first time I ever felt fear from an adult was through him. And then I drew like a spoon and fork because he made us eat it. I said I was fucked up when he did that for real, but everyone else acted normal. So I acted normal. And I wrote, I have ocean eyes right now, writing this, but I can't let the waves go. And I had another idea. I said he could have let the rabbit go. Like, yeah, we was crying and saying no, but feed it to us was your option. And then I put Thinkbot with a red light on and tears coming out of his eyes. I wanted to kill him for killing my rabbit. Alright, I say this next page is me learning the lesson that each artist has to be their own artist. We're each our own individual. I was trying to draw the way they teach you, but it wasn't working. Little me, this artist whose art is unique, inspired me to start drawing. And like I wrote on the page, an artist has to be your own talent. I can't draw like everyone else. I'm me. I can only draw how I draw. And I love my work as me. And like I found out, when you love your work, it loves you in return. That's like we're God's work. And if you love, you know, it's like, you know, that's how I heard that shit. Like, let me see. I said, when you love your work, it loves you in return. Yep, so like, you know what I'm saying, like, we're like the work of God. And, you know what I'm saying, like, and God, you know what I'm saying, like, if you, I feel like, man, like, when you love God, man, like, and you sincerely love God and shit, then God loves you back sincerely. And you feel it, you know what I'm saying, like, all in your life and shit, like, you just know when God loves you. Not to say that he doesn't unlove, you know, like other people and shit, but you just, you know when you are in the blessings of God. And this is me, like, just trying to sketch out shit. Like, they teach you start from the middle and all this other little shit, but it just wasn't working out for me. Didn't like it. Talking shit, and that's how I feel, like, fuck it. I said that's my own version right there. On 12/23/20, I remember for some reason, the back window was calling me. I went to look outside and saw a point of light that begged me to follow it. I had to draw what I saw. On the next page, you'll see it. I wrote, "My Creator loves me so much and wanted me to know He sees me." I went to the window and saw this point of light moving across the sky. Might have been a plane, but these two tree branches converged naturally, and I saw the shape of an eye. The sky had colors of light purplish pink, and that point of light came to a point where it was directly in the middle of the eye. Do you know at that moment, did you know that moment was just for me? I wonder, did the trees know I would witness that? And the sky and whoever else was watching, but it was so gorgeous, it blew my mind. Life is magical. I'm alive, I'm living, and I'm loved. What I did in return for such a sight that I couldn't give words to, I felt with my heart. I heard silence. Then I released all the emotion in my heart out. I could feel this energy radiating out of me. And when I said I heard, like, it's like all the noise just came to a hush. Like it was just waiting for the moment of my release, and I just projected love out of my heart. Like so thankful for what I seen, because I didn't have words for it, but I knew how I felt about it. So I just let that emotion just build and build and build, and just projected it out. And this was me like just sketching out like somewhat what the scene was like. This is before I didn't have all my colors and all that shit. I just had to work with what I had. Like, you know, so but like that's like the eye, and it was like branches like that and shit. Like, but like I said, the sky was like a light purplish pinkish, and it was just pretty as fuck. I also illustrate some thoughts I had. Soon you're gonna see how my script art began, all by complete accident. But as I said, I have the eyes to see, and beyond that, art pours out of me. I can't help it. At times I hear frequencies, and I know it's time to interpret. Wait until you see some of my frequency work. Oh yeah. So, look at him. I see this image on my brick wall inside one brick. Inside one brick, I saw like this face. And I said, it's not a drawing. It's not a drawing by someone else. It's the way that the lines connect the brick and the chips of paint. Who are you? And I called him watching. I said, because he has a kind eye. And like, and if you look at his eye, like for real, like, it looks like it's a little mouse inside his eye. You see it? Like that white space, that's like the mouse's head. And that dot is the mouse's eye. You know, like, but that's like, so I was like, shit, he even has like, oh yeah. And this is what I drew, like a little baby projecting love out of his heart. You know, and I said, want with the innocence of a child, a baby. We are children of the Creator. I said, we lose this ability when we become corrupted by the world. We have to build a better world. When the waves of my ocean eyes break, it's going to be a waterfall. And I wrote under that, tectonic plate break. You know what the tectonic plate is? Yeah, it's like a big ass, like giant stone. It's like these stone ass things where like when they slip and crack, like a big ass earthquake, you know what I'm saying? Like happening and shit. Okay, I drew this. This is a thought that I was having. Like it's a person in the middle, and they got like these little sparkles around the darkness and stuff. So when you're surrounded by darkness, you have to be your own light. You turn to the light within. And what brought that about was me looking at a star. And how like you'll see a star and you'll just see a bunch of darkness, you know what I'm saying, around that star and shit. And so yeah, I thought on that. I said stars aren't surrounded by darkness. They're beacons of light. The darkness is to highlight a point of light millions and millions and millions and millions of miles away. Even when I'm feeling negative, positive finds a way. Double-edged sword. I called this on my face Happy, what I said? Oh yeah, Happy Tiger Nose. So this is another face I seen like on the floor and shit. You see him? I said his name is Happy Tiger Nose. I was working out when I was resting, saw this image in the midst of stone on my floor. Let me see, I seen a lot of kind faces. I remember when I used to see monsters on everything, like when I was younger and shit. Like instead of seeing like kind faces with smiles and all that shit, like I'm seeing like some monsters, you know what I'm saying, like demons, like this crazy shit, like you know that I didn't understand at the time, but like you know, so like as I've changed as a better person, man, like I started seeing like kind faces and smiling faces and thoughtful faces and shit. Like I no longer see like them mean ass looking faces. I said, let me see. Oh yeah, Happy Tiger Nose says, I just want to be me, but I have tiger teeth. Don't make me bite you. A secret. He also has tiger teeth. And I said, so yeah, like he's sitting there like he's smiling and shit. Like this is what my nigga saying. Like he look all cheesy, you know what I'm saying? He's smiling. He might look like he a hoe and shit, but like he's a tiger for real. Like fuck with that nigga if you want to, and he gonna bite the shit out you with some tiger teeth. I could turn him into a whole cartoon. On God, and I might do it. Yeah, I said I might do it. I have the ability to get my eyes wet up when I'm emotional and bring all that wetness back inside, not a single tear drop. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like, and I remember because I'll be sitting there, like, in the cell just thinking on some shit, going through some shit, and my eyes would be welled up with water, you know what I'm saying? Like, just at one little, teeny little spot more, and boom, you know, so like that, but I wouldn't let them fall. Like, I'll be sitting there holding that shit, holding it, and I'll bring all that shit back in. I said, I made a personal decision. I was one of those kids in the library reading books on telekinesis, telepathy, etc. Me and my sister lived in a haunted house, so we seen a lot of shit. I remember one time I said, Leah, turn up the TV. She went to get up. I said, no, with our minds. I was telling her to concentrate, and the TV blasted. Our stepdad yelled to turn it down. She went to get up. I stopped her. With our minds, we concentrated, and it went all the way down. She had to get up to adjust it properly. I was always a seeker of knowledge. I remember when I told my sister about that shit, she said that she remembers it. And I remember that shit. Like, I don't know what made me tell her to do that, but we're sitting there concentrating, going like this with our hands and shit. Like, just focused on them motherfucking shit. Say, like, we looked at each other and shit. My stepdad, he woke up. He's like, man, y'all turn the TV down. So she would get ready to get up. I stopped her. I said, no. I said, with our minds. Like, I'm like, concentrate. We sitting there going like that. That shit went all the way down, zero, boom. So I had to get up and adjust it right so that we can hear it. You know what I'm saying? She remembers that shit. All right, this is another like thing that I was just walking around the block and I was talking to myself like, I was like, all right, so on a human, what would be equivalent to a cup on their body and shit? So I thought of like a skull, you know, something like that, like an upside down skull and shit. That would be like the only thing, yeah, that would be like the only thing equivalent to a cup. And I drew like this bottle of knowledge, you know, something like that. It spells it out, K-N-O-W, you know, something like, but it's in the bottle form. And I wrote, let your cup run over. And then, oh yeah, you see this little silhouette person right here and shit. Like he's reaching up for that big ass cup. Like his little teeny ass, you know what I'm saying, with all that shit. So I wrote underneath that, you think you can handle all that. And then like I started shading in the eyes. And that's when I started seeing like little figures in the eyes. I showed you this one before, right? Like the dude with the butt chin and yeah, the person on the couch and shit. Like, I have it on my Instagram page. If you check it out, it's more towards like the bottom of the page and shit. Like, so, and I got close-ups on it so that you can see exactly what was in the shading of the eye. I wasn't trying to draw the shit at all. I was just shading the eye and going like this, and all of a sudden I just seen some shit. That was a spark of realization. Then I asked myself, what if I think of someone? Screw it. You're about to see my very first word. Me thinking like, what if I think about somebody who do this, then what can I see? And this right here, it's like a feminine figure in submission naked and blindfolded, like with a partial arm, but like nakedness in my art, you know what I'm saying, like represents honesty. Like you have nothing to hide, you're nude, you're bearing yourself. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly what that is. And like, you know what I'm saying, when somebody is artist, but this is what I drew. This person I see. This. It took me a while to see this shit. I said, gotta tune up. So I smoked some tune, and when I got to looking at it, I seen this person with like surprise, like he's shocked. He's looking at this and he's just like shocked, like what the fuck? So she's in full submission, willingly, naked, honest, fully trusting, started looking at the negatives with the positives and saw this. I tuned up and saw this. I was starting to think it was nothing till I looked deeper. When I don't think I see shit, I unprogram my mind to stop looking for familiar things, and I just see. Like, so a lot of times with my art, I'll sit there and I'll try to like look for certain shit, and I'm trying to like force myself to see certain shit, but I can't do it. You know, it's like that. Like, you just have to like shut your mind down, unprogram that shit, and art. So, and I explained this in another one of my books. If I was to draw a circle, you know, it's like that. What would that be? Most of y'all, it would just be a zero, the letter O, you know, so that or a circle. But to me, in my art, you know, so a circle could be a planet, a circle could be a head, a circle could be the sun, you know, just all types of shit, like an orb, like, you know, like that. So it's just many different things than what a person would think, you know what I'm saying, just one little image has. Like, I look deeply into shit. So, all right, boom. Ever since I was 5, I wanted to be a millionaire. That was a dream of mine. Now, at 41, after doing almost 20 years straight in prison, I've come to a realization about life. I'm perfectly content with doing what makes me happy. I don't need to be rich in a monetary sense. I'm rich in other ways. I just want to enjoy my life and be happy. I'm not worried about accomplishment or recognition from others as validation of accomplishment. I just want to be me, and my creator will reward me. I feel like just being alive and living and knowing that I'm loved by an almighty being is enough. I'm showed so much beauty in the simplest things. God, or whatever you call the creator, is an artist. Everything is so beautiful. Planets, space. I was wondering, on the canvas of creation, what does it see? I know if I was able to expand my vision at night to see how many stars exist in the sky, the whole sky would be light. And then I started like scribbling and shit. And this is what I seen in this scribble. You see it? What does it look like? Yeah, this is like a silhouette of a person. And this is like some type of like alien being and shit, like with like long ass arms. This is the back. This is his legs. This is his head area right here. Like, this is an left arm, right arm, chest, neck, head. You see him? And I said, if knowledge is light, what shadow does it cast? I don't know, would it be ignorance? Because it's the reverse of it. But then the Bible says that, you know what I'm saying, ignorance is what, I don't know if it's the Bible, but you ever heard that saying, ignorance is bliss? Oh yeah, I'm gonna stop right here. And then I'm gonna show you some art. Read this next page. December 21st, 20. Almost every conviction I had of myself as far as criminal activities go, and not just that, when you realize what higher forms of energy are, and you, what the fuck was I talking about? I was on some other shit. Hold on. Almost every conviction I had of myself as far as criminal activities go, and not just that, when you realize what higher forms of energy are, and your being inhibits or inhabits this energy, it changes you. I'm ready to live life more. I was convinced. Then some years will pass that will lead to another conviction. Then some years will pass and another. I was always seeking knowledge, even at a young age, in libraries, reading books, absorbing filtering. If something didn't sound right, sooner or later, I see some info pertaining to what I was seeking. Seeking you shall find. That book, The Alchemist, is a jewel. I like to teach or moderate some classes dealing with that info. It's a book of life. Other books too. A study, energy building, FBG, FBG, Facebook group. Yeah, that's right. I want to start like a Facebook group dealing with this type of stuff and shit. So I find myself releasing the thought of wanting to remember this specific form. Yeah, like, so that's another like thing I was thinking about and shit. Like, I know that when we pass, we move on or whatever like that. So I really love this person that I am right now and shit. And I was sitting there thinking like, all right, like when I pass and I move on and I evolve, will I remember this person that I am? Like, you know what I'm saying? Will I remember who Javon James is once I start evolving, you know what I'm saying, in the higher forms? And then I was kind of worried about that because, like I said, I love who I am and I always want to remember me and shit. And then like an answer came to me about that. I think I wrote it out here. If not right here, it's in my book. But let me see. Oh yeah, I find myself releasing the thought of wanting to remember this specific form. When you merge with all there is, you don't lose those memories. How can a higher form forget? Those are things humans do. My energy won't. I'm saying those, yeah. If you don't lose those memories, how can a higher form forget? Yeah, of course. All right, like, all right, yeah. Those are things humans do. My energy won't. It will always exist. Oh yeah, my energy won't. It will always exist in the Akashic records. So there's like this field of energy and shit that where like everything that you do, say, whatever like that, it gets inscribed upon this field of energy called the Akasha field. And you can Google it. Like it's called the Akashic records or whatever like that. But yeah, all right, yo, good. And then I wrote like I always sought out enlightenment. All right. This is another little face I seen and shit. I said something like a face I seen where I told myself I was trying to see something. I made the eyes too dark. I said, don't know why my version took on a dark twist. And then I put alien with a wig on, LOL. It kind of looks like an alien with a wig on. So this is what hit me about that shit. I think I had this bright idea about this. Oh yeah, I said, hold up, extraterrestrial in disguise. I said, I be feeling like that sometimes. I feel like my disguise is this human body. I know I'm a light being. I don't want to forget this personality though. I love Javon James. And then, like, I drew like this little like silhouette figure rising up and then floating up and rising up into the light. And I said, rising, merging with light. When that happens for me, I'm gonna be so joyful. This is a dream I had. Oh yeah, I drew it out. Like, alright, dream I had. Let me explain the dream. So, I was on Earth, and Earth was like this big ass sandball. And you can travel through Earth, or around the Earth, like on these giant like worms and shit. So, what is it actually? Right here. Yeah, but so I got to the spot and I'm with my angel guide and shit. And I had like this vest. And motherfucking, like, I'm so mad, I ripped in the half. My angel was flying off and I wanted to follow it. So we let me like use what God gave me. So I'm looking around and I pick up one vest and the other vest and I start going like this. And I start flying up with him and shit, you know, so like following him. So he's in space and he goes to this planet. And I'm on a planet. So when I get to this planet, I'm with this person and they put some wings, you know what I'm saying? I earn my wings and shit. They had to cut right here in my forehead and they put two feathers, like one over here, one over there, not on my back. So all right, on this planet during the daytime and shit, like all the angels kicked it and shit was cool. When they got dark, the good angels left, and I was like that, and the bad ones had to stay and shit. So I'm standing like up on this balcony and it's starting to get dark and I can see Earth off in the distance and like I'm seeing them fly away and shit. So I sat there and concentrated, and I popped out, you know what I'm saying, my little feathers and shit. So I'm trying to flap them, and the motherfuckers want to flap. And man, like, you know, so I'm starting to hear like voices like far away, like screaming and all this type of shit. I'm starting to get scared. Like, so I'm concentrating hard as fuck trying to get them to flap them bitches, but not flap shit. So I said, man, I want to go home. And as soon as I said that shit, let me go and get you because you cannot exist like me. Whatever. You must leave. Like now. Where is your sage at? Whatever this is, you cannot see it up here. Don't, huh? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you must leave. I did not like that. One thing. Wherever you are, you cannot return. In the name of Jesus Christ. And I'm glad you did that because obviously this place needed to be purified. So thank you for doing that so that we can cleanse this energy. You didn't even know you was helping us out. You thought that you was scared or some shit like that, but no. Look for it. I see some shit right now. I'm going head first too. Like for real, I don't run from danger no more. I fly to that shit. Like if I'm walking, and I sense like danger, you know what I'm saying, like coming at me and shit, I turn up. Like I don't do one of these. Like listen, I do one of these. Like all right, let's get to this shit, man. You got to go. Don't come back. No. Get the road, Jack. Don't come back. No. I've been serious fuck. You're so serious. And what the hell was it? I don't see shit. I don't see nothing on the floor. I don't see none of that. What the fuck was that? Was it this airway? Hey, wait. Yeah. You had an airway like up underneath something? Yeah. That's what it was. It still could have been something. How did you just fall, motherfucker? Hey, baby. Yeah. Whatever it was, I think I caught it, babe. Nice. And it was in your room. this shit it popped. Like this little shit right here, like when I was in your room and I went in a certain area, like crack was it on everything. And like I took that as a sign, like I eliminated it. I got it. I'm about to Google what does it mean when your sage stick crackles and pops. Oh shit. Was it in the ashtray in there?
It was in like this pink little cup.
Oh shit, so I gotta put this out.
No, I just let it go out.
Oh, I see it. I see it. Let me see your phone. Cause you know mine's still recording. I just realized this shit. Here you go. Nah, I think just fuck this. Why don't you got no coat on and shit? What does it mean when a sage, hold on, what is it? A sage what? Sage stick. What does it mean when a sage stick crackles and pops? Sage stick exploded. What does it mean when the sage? Oh, well, this shit didn't explode, but it definitely. Oh, hold on. See, crackles, big smudging spark. The word salvia comes from the Latin root, so it means to heal. It's smudge stick. It's compromised or white sage. Man, hold on, man. This shit don't talk about what I'm asking. Oh, shit. Hold the fuck up, man. That's what I hate about this shit. You really got to dig, sage crackling. That's exactly what it is. The burnt sage sends off a smoke that repels negative energies and spirits and helps remove them from the space you are cleansing. I've read that the sage will glow, crackle, or even extinguish itself when you reach heavy areas. So continue to smudge until the energy feels light and clear. Does that make sense to you? I don't know, like just I don't think heavy doesn't necessarily mean bad. Like your ass is probably slumped over there. You look so tired. You feel so good. Or we can continue to book a heart another time. Ooh, this video. Get with your heart, man. Yeah, like, I gotta learn how to do that shit. I had a time over really, like, I'll just upload this whole fucking my YouTube page. Like, fuck all that. Like, oh. I can't wait to get that shit published. Still smart to say this. Yeah. Where's your weed at? You roll it up? Shit. That's a lot. You know that's a lie. You know that fuck all that. Yeah, that's cool. This will get you through for a little bit more. I can't wait to have a pound of this shit in a motherfucking safe box. I don't want the motherfucking spot smelling like that shit, boy. This yeah, no. Where's the lighter at? I just had that bitch. Unless it's up on you. Here, go right here. Head smack in my face. Head smack. Shit, boy. What do you think about my book so far? Fucking with it? I don't even care about that. I hear you. I understand the compliment. Don't think that I don't. Like, you know, it's like I get it and I appreciate it. But like that's not what really makes me. I just know that it's like, all right. Like what I try to tell people is this. All right, you know how they talk about fruit a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like fruit. Fruit is like, you know, it's like the fruit of your labor. You know what I'm saying? And all that shit. So, all right, I feel like this. Like people, they're so concentrated on the fruit that they don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Before it becomes a fruit, you have to nurture the tree. So you know what I'm saying? Like don't, and, you know, just don't forget about the tree and shit. Like the root. You know what I'm saying? The seed. You know what I'm saying? Of it, and naturally the fruit is gonna grow. You get it? Get a conversation I used to have with myself. breath and shit. Alright, man, this shit ain't the spirit right now. He was in there mouthing, you know, that's what my mom was thinking. I'm so tired. I would need the rest, man. I better see my mom say good. I see right now, man, I'm ready to smart. This might be my new cone soldier. Oh shit, the phone's still recording? Is it still recording or did I stop it? Oh damn, it caught.